So I thought it would be quite interesting to start where all this interest started. So did you always want to be a cosmetic doctor, as in the cosmetic industry, or was it a case that's evolved?
Do you know what? I think it was nature and nurture. So I first did medicine, and while I was at medical school, my parents had a cosmetics company. And so I was fascinated with it, as actually a lot of girls are at that age. And I decided after medical school that I was going to do an apprenticeship with their cosmetic formulator and learn how to become a formulator myself. And I wanted to focus primarily on skin of color. And the reason was a selfish reason. I had melasma. I got early onset pigmentation on my cheekbones. And when I started reading the peer reviews on PubMed, I realized that all of the treatments had been made for Caucasian skin and could lead to PI8, something called post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation in skin of color. Okay. So if I used the classic chemical peel, that could lead to rebound pigmentation in my skin, even though it's meant to be treating the pigmentation. The clinical studies were done on Caucasian skin, not on skin of color. And so honestly, it was, how do I treat my face? So it was very selfish. It was, right, which ingredients do I need to put together in order to combat the melasma on my skin? I knew if I didn't get it under control now, it would spread across my face and then it becomes very difficult to treat. But you know, Susan, the really sad thing was when I started looking at the clinical studies of what retinol, for example, is suitable for skin of color, they didn't exist.
Yeah.
You actually don't know what percentage of retinol at the time that was suitable for skin of color. And then what could you combine retinol with? So what I had to do was iterate. I would have 10 patients at a time, and I would start with a cream that was 0.001% retinol. Does it burn the skin? Then I would do 0.002%, 0.003%, and I would literally iterate until I found the ideal percentage of retinol, which for us was 0.3% and encapsulated. That's really important.
Yes.
Then I thought, okay, that's great. I figured that much out. Now what can I combine it with without it irritating the skin? And we actually had to get up to 10 tyrosinase inhibitors combined in order to tackle dark melasma in skin of color. So can you imagine that took years of just research before I even made the first product.
Wow.
And once I created it, I decided I was going to take it to the next level and create the world's first professional grade hyperpigmentation treatment for skin of color. And we opened up a chain of clinics called the Hyperpigmentation Clinic.
Of course you did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because there was nothing. And so I thought there are going to be other people like me. And those clinics was fully booked 6 months in advance. Then COVID hit and we had to shut them all down. And this is a really painful, I'm sure for everyone watching, it was such a difficult time. Everyone had to decide, what are you going to do? We were eating into our savings. And I thought, okay, let me keep the lab and let me try and figure out if I can start to build an online following. And I'm 42 now, right? So we grew up a time without Facebook even. So I was buying Dummy's Guide to Instagram or Dummy's Guide to Facebook, literally like from the beginning, how do we do this? And luckily, everyone was at home and they were starting to get excited about skincare. Yeah. And so I thought, okay, let me try. But are they really going to be excited about skincare for skin of color? Do people even know that skin of color is different to Caucasian skin? And how much detail do they want to know? Do they really want to know about percentages and what's in the products that they're purchasing? And I couldn't believe it. It blew up. And yeah, so now we're in 3.5 million.
But I think this is the thing though, you know, now the public, everyone, they want to know so much detail. I think, you know, there's so much information out there and everyone craves to know like the in-depth information. So I think it was just hit on the right time as well. But I love the fact that like sort of, you're just such an action taker, aren't you? It's like,
I don't have a choice. That's like necessity.